Hi, this is Sylvia. I'm going to do a quick review of The Good and the Beautiful History, Year 1, compared to Abeka, second grade history. Now, we started out this year, doing The Good and the Beautiful History, and I'll show you what it entails. You get this course book. I was really excited about it because it's supposed to be for all ages, and I had a kindergartner and a second grader. So I thought, well, we can do this all together. So this history book, you go through each day. They do have pictures. They show each day what to do, what to read to them. The thing that we really enjoyed, we didn't do the read alouds that they say to have, but they have audio things to listen to online. So you can listen to history stories online, which my kids really loved. We started out, they liked the ancient Egypt. It got more in-depth through here. They had different things to cut out. It started getting a little bit more in-depth when they talked about American history, and a lot of it went over my kids' heads, and they just didn't understand a lot of this. I felt like I was skipping through a lot of names, it'd probably be better for some older kids, but like my kids are not going to remember John Morton and Abraham Clark, and it just was a lot. Like they couldn't understand, like Congress couldn't draft soldiers, and I felt like I had to really water it down for them to really understand it. The thing that's cute that it comes along with the set is the Big Book of History stories. This was something I was super excited about, although some of the stories were above my kids' heads again. But I like that they try to include some stories to really get your kid, thinking of what it was like to live in that time era. So they were really trying to personalize history instead of it just being in a textbook. So I did appreciate that, but some of it was quite a bit over their heads, and I just don't think that this set is good for first or second grade. They did have these year 1 student explorers, but a lot of this was coloring, and my kids sort of got tired of just coloring. Like they just were sort of over the coloring. And then it did come with this history game, which again, my kids just didn't understand it. We didn't really go over a lot of this. They're trying to make it fun, and maybe this would be good for junior high or high school students, but I think it just, they just could not, like, remember. I mean, they didn't know this stuff. Like, we talked about the Huguenots and stuff, but, like, they would not be able to answer these questions for the game. So we didn't even play the game a single time. So that is The Good and the Beautiful history set. You get printouts for each kid, you have the course book, and you have the stories, and then the game. I ended up, after we did that, I ended up doing the Abeka second grade history with my daughter, who, like I said, is in second grade, and she loved it. Like I said, Good and Beautiful was very advanced. She didn't understand a lot. This Our America History and Geography reader was right at her level. She could actually open it up and read and understand it. And they really made it simple. Freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of religion, freedom of assembly, that kind of, and we talk about the questions, the pilgrims. Now, this doesn't have world history. This is just American history, so that you don't have the full world history. But at least for American history, I felt like it was so much easier for her to understand. The other thing, now I'll show you the book that was not completed, but you buy an activity book, and this is only $7, and she loved it. I bought one for my son for when we do this next year with him, but it has cutouts, coloring, maps, but not just, I don't even know who did that one, not just coloring and maps, but it also has like word finds. It just had more fun, interactive activities that she really enjoyed, and got the message down in a much more simple way, appropriate for a second grader. So we really loved, it goes over all of, the correct order, things like that. we really loved this curriculum. Like I said, my second grader did a book. This is the extra book that I have. I just wanted to show you guys what was included. The other nice thing is that this History, Science, and Health, it also has all the pages for the health book and the science book. So she enjoyed that as well. I'm going to go through probably and show the difference between Abeka Science and some other sciences that we've done, but these are the science and the health books. And again, she could read it, she could answer the questions. It was just very appropriate for a second grader. So if I had to choose between doing the Good and the Beautiful again, or just doing the Abeka second grade, I definitely would recommend the Abeka second grade. Yeah, you miss out on some of these history stories, but you could probably find some storybooks at the library, or even just buy this storybook if you wanted to just read some stories. But the actual history part, I think this is a much more appropriate book for second grade. Even first graders or third graders would probably enjoy this and the activities that go along with it. So anyways, that's my quick review of those two curriculums.